This is a UFO. Not just any ordinary UFO, mind you. It is one of the most powerful UFOs in our solar system. It is so powerful that nations, religions alike, have fought to the death to keep them a secret from you. But no longer shall this be a reality. No longer shall the UFO community be held at large by a stooge who wears a fish on his head and a stick and wants to hit you with it. But anyway, this is a light ship. This is a celestial sun, and it is blasting dark matter and multicolored light matter together out of its bowels at the speed of light. What you're looking at right now is not distortion in my camera lens. It is what this light ship is putting out at the speed of light. As I unzoom, you can see it gets a little bit smaller. And you can actually see just a little bit more detail in the light ship. As I zoom back in, you can see the dark matter and light matter particles that are being sprayed out of this thing in all directions, from all directions. It literally looks like it's just like noise and distortion, but it's not. This is a high definition camera, and I've got it zoomed in about half power, maybe a little bit more. And that's what it's doing. You see the dark matter chambers on the top and the bottom? They're actually darker than space itself. They're blacker than space. It's because they hold dark matter. That's what it feeds off of. And it gives you back light. Multicolored light. The proof will be in when I unzoom, you will see that it literally disappears and becomes almost like snow, like color washing across the screen. But it is color washing across the screen that it is creating. As you can see, as I unzoom, and then recenter it, as it bounces around, you notice it stays consistent with it, so it's not a function within the camera lens itself or the recording. As I get farther back, you can actually start to see it how it's radiating it. Because that's what it does. And its sole job tonight is to spray night light. See? Now it's almost, you can't hardly see it, but it's still there. This is why I'm doing the voice narration, because there's just so much information here that people don't understand. Now watch when I unzoom, you'll see what it's giving night light to. I bet you can almost guess. That's right, the back of the moon. There's one down here on the far left also that's projecting light on the front of the moon. There's one up there too, but he's farther out. I don't think I can reach him. I'm not even going to bother. And there's also one down here on the far right, the lower right. But since we got one so close to the moon, I ain't even going to piss around with trying to zoom in on them, because it's a pain in the butt sometimes. because you're literally, it's like trying to zoom in on headlights in a snowstorm, because that's what they're creating, a snowstorm of light designed for night. I was referring to two cloud bands that came across that same night I was recording this. They were like giant snakes in the sky. There was no other clouds anywhere. It was like they just magically appeared in the sky from nowhere. Well, there he goes. Did you see that? It was a fast walker. Let's go check him out again. Comes now. Pay attention. Close. Ah, you weren't watching. Come on, we'll do it one more time. Ready? Whoa, there he goes. You missed it. Here, I'll do it in slow motion. You gotta be quick when you're watching for the fast walkers. They have a very arduous task. They're the busiest UFOs in our solar system. This last little bit of footage while we're going in slow motion, I will zoom in using the video effects in my Movie Maker software to keep you basically out of the storm from the actual physical zooming of the camcorder, which should give you a better perspective without actually, like I said, going right up there with the zoom of the lens of the camera. You can actually see more of the wave effect as it travels towards the screen now, away from the light ship. Not as great a detail because, well, I'm not using the camera to zoom, obviously. But there you go. Okay, now I got the footage slowed down for a reason. Look close around the very back edge of the moon, towards the top. Like, pretend you're looking at Mount Everest, okay? And you can literally see the light and the dark mist, so to speak, that these things are spraying out, build up along the top edge of the moon there. And then it gets built up so far and gets washed away by the solar winds that it's also creating with the blast effect that it creates as it's taking in dark matter, exchanging it, and for whatever, I don't know, and turning it into light and dark matter both, just being sprayed in all directions like a sparkler. A nightlight is what they're really doing. They're really easy to find. All you have to do is look for the ones that are blinking red, white, blue, green, red, white, blue, green, just like you just saw a close-up of. You'll always find them around the moon. When the moon is full, they're harder to find. Unless you get real lucky and find one close to it, then it's hard to even get zoomed in on it. But you can always find them when there's like a half moon, quarter moon. You'll find them. Just look out away from them. And all you gotta do is zoom in, and you got one. I've seen other people on YouTube put out videos where they're flying around like crazy, and they do. They don't just sit in one place like you're seeing this one here for nearly 40 minutes, which is, if it was a star, I'm sorry, is impossible. The Earth is turning, the moon is moving. It is impossible for that star to hang where it's hanging for 45 minutes straight, not move 1 inch, and, you know, like I said, it's still there. It stayed there for the whole time, along with the other 3 that were down, or the other 2 that were down below. Now, clouds are calming down. If you watch real close along the top edge of that moon, you can see the effect. I know I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this statement, but there's a reason that this is going on. It's because of the simple fact that sunlight does not travel nowhere near as far in space as we have been led to believe. It has to be assisted by these light ships. All those people that think that this is noise, when I zoom in on this bugger, I got news for you. Go to the Soho website, or look at the last video I made. When you see the light ship coming out of the right side of the sun, heading out into deep space, when I zoom in, you see the same effect in the Soho cameras. So anyone that wants to say that I'm zooming in on noise and I got a crappy camera, kiss my butt. Because you can go right to Soho and see the same thing happening out in deep space. As far as I can remember, I was always told that there is no noise in space. And it just, well, you could say it's a coincidence, but if you look at the shape when I'm zoomed in close, freeze frame these frames while you're watching it, you see that they're almost a rounded square shape, just like in the Soho cameras. Because this effect is happening from our sun also. And there's a very special reason that our sun is doing it, and these light ships too. So as I unzoom, it gets less and less. But yet you still see it the same shape, same size, next to the light ship in the glow. Back out. It literally just turns back into a wash. See? You almost have to, I can't zoom in with the camera because the camera will wash it out. You have to really look hard with your eyes. And you can see the light and dark matter literally washing over the top of the moon, where the dark and the light part of the moon, the shadow, meet each other. There's another spooky cloud. Flat, too. You can see right through them. Yep, still right there. Hasn't moved an inch. That's because his duty tonight is to sit right there and continuously spray the backside of the moon with night light. Back out here a little bit. That's what happens when you have autofocus on and not manual. But I like using autofocus because these things flash so fast. You almost need it when you get in on them tight like this. You see that depth of color. The actual rotation of the dark matter chambers. But I had a junky frickin' stand this night. That's alright. I'll get pissed off here in a second and I'll rip it off from underneath it and just leave it on the top of my car. Come on, damn it. Don't have high, can't afford, high dollar, tripods and stuff like this, with remotes and stuff on. When you get zoomed in on something this tight, you got to have a sloped surface, like a car hood or a car roof. I usually set a piece of paper underneath it, and just barely touch the corners, so I can get. See that one? This footage was taken at the end of October. So there was a small chance that may have been a bug, but highly unlikely. Pretty windy out tonight, as you can hear in the background. What's left of the leaves are rustling around on the ground. Is gone into almost 19-20 minutes. Yep. It's perfect. It's holding. It is an absolute geosynchronous orbit. This is disclosure. You're looking for the Galactic Federation of Lies? Well, these guys aren't part of them. Their sole duty is to take care of everything on Earth, period. Dr. Norman Bergman, I believe, is somebody you can Google who can give you some information on what these things are, but he doesn't know what I know about them. Beautiful. Look at that. Now it's perfect. There you can see him wobbling. Downloading this and doing a frame-by-frame analysis will blow your mind, because you can really see as it makes, you know, single frame-by-frame movements. It's literally throwing those little black balls and white balls, like I said, at the speed of light. And it's all being mixed together. The only thing I could see is their fuel is dark matter. It's being converted into like a snow. They're just literally snowing on the back side of the moon, on the front, from that one down there on the left, and the one on the lower right over here. As you can see, I don't have any, when I'm actually zoomed in on the moon right now, which is a little over half power right now, a little bit more zooming in, you don't see that distortion or anything like it, except for around the very edge, because these light shifts are all over this moon. Those two sitting right there at the top, next to that big dark area. They're not even on the surface. They're actually up. They're floating in space. One's closer to the planet, which is the one that's closer to the circle, and one's actually floating up higher in space, more towards us. And there's like 3 of them together in each set. You can see the very tips of their heads going back and forth, see them? They're assisting in the carrying of light. That's what their job is. They're not an invasion fleet from the Star Sirius or the Pleiades or any of that. As far as I'm concerned, that's a bunch of hooey. These are the real UFOs. These are the real ETs. And these are the real reason we haven't been back to the moon. Because I guarantee you, if they got close enough to that moon, you would see these things all over the freaking place. There's just no way they could hide it. Not without making it obvious to everybody on YouTube that hasn't already figured out that they lie to us just about about everything. Well, this is no different. So for all you people out there that were expecting, ETs from some other galaxy, I think that they would want us to know about our own solar system and the ET life that exists within it, before they would come down here and land and say, yeah, here I am to save the day. Whatever. If there's any real benevolent ETs out there, they would want us to know about what's in our own solar system before they'd want us to worry about what the heck they're doing out in theirs. See, look at that. That big one's actually more towards us. They're twins. The other one's just closer to the surface of the planet. Watch as it rises up. You'll actually almost see the floating motion, the in-between. I know it's hard to do because of the glare that they're also creating. But yeah, look at that. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, side by side, and they're just like bobbing their heads back and forth with those dark matter chambers, and they're creating the amount of light that's necessary or assisting the light that's necessary to be at that point at the edge of the moon. They're up there at the top too. And off to the right here, you'll see where it looks like it's turning purple. That is an effect that they are creating. It's not a defect in this camera. Those babies are floating above the surface of the moon. They're not even on the surface. This is disclosure. Extreme. If you can't handle it, you need to go back and listen to the Galactic Federation and all that other bullcrap, because that's all made up garbage. Keep you distracted so they can drag us into doing things we're not supposed to be doing, which is paying attention to our own solar system, our own planet. Sorry if I'm injecting myself here in this way. I'm sick and tired of looking at all the frustration of everyone on YouTube waiting around for ET disclosure to come. Well, right here it is. You can't handle the truth? Well, turn the video off. Because you're getting the truth right now, whether you like it or not. Whether the Pope likes it or not. Because he's the one that made up all them damn stories. For you all to come on here on YouTube and fall for it, not go out and fight for your country while everything's being ripped down around you. You know, there goes another fast walker. Yeah. You want to figure out what the ETs are about, you pull up your sleeves, get away from YouTube, go buy yourself a decent camcorder, just sit outside and start learning. They're all over the place out there. People are filming them left and right. A lot of them are thinking that a lot of them are Black Ops UFOs. Well, the V ones, I can see that they probably are. But the orbs and everything else are all coming from, well, you're looking at them. They're literally recreating themselves over and over and over again. And as they do, they're throwing it out and creating some kind of matter light. Because sunlight just doesn't go nowhere in space. Because we're literally swimming in a pool of dark matter. If you look at the moon, the glow around it, it kind of almost shows you right there that that's as far as the sunlight's reflection really goes. The rest is what these guys are doing in between that helps us to see for any distance in space. Yep, it's still there. And it hasn't moved. Let's see, we're going on 30 minutes now. Well, let's look down here and see if there's any fast locker action. All this is doing is lighting up, giving your camera more power to see into the darkness of space. At over 20 magnification, which is about halfway on this camera. If a bug were to fly in front of that camera, it would just be a big blur. If an airplane flew by, you'd probably almost be able to see the numbers. Just amazing. If you watch close, you can literally see it down in there. It's almost like watching snow being blown over top of a mountain peak from miles and miles away. It just keeps washing and washing and washing. Because, well, that's what they do. They're like nature's honeybees for the deep blackness of space. And they go gathering nectar for their hive. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. Disclosure, extreme. Can't handle it? Go get back on the porch. Sure, you can find something on the Sci-Fi Channel. Yep. Never ever once heard Billy Mayer talk about the sun orbs that live in our sun. Yep. Never heard Crazy Colleen once talk about the sun orbs that live in the center of our sun. Yep. Never heard, well, what the heck is his name there with the glasses, that doctor. Well, he probably don't know. Same with Colleen. She's just a smart woman that figured out a lot of stuff like the rest of us on YouTube. Whoa, you see that one? Kamikaze. Figured out a lot of stuff on YouTube. And I commend her because she's got more balls than the last 10 men I tried talking to. Waking them the hell up. Getting them out of fantasy land. Thinking some ET race is going to come down here and save us from this evil cabal. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my video. Learned a few things. You know, I'm kind of going against the Nazi pseudoscience we've all been forced to believe in. But if you think that's something else, well, down there, up on the right hand side, you'll see a little box that says subscribe. Wait till my next video comes out. Guaranteed to curl the hair inside your nose so tight you won't be able to trim it out. You'll have to yank it.
For all you that want to go out and try this amazing technique, it's all about intent. If you get into a fight with your woman, your family, you go out and set your camcorder up with an attitude, you will not be happy with how your recording comes out. They will not assist negative energy. They work in negative energy, but they won't help it. I've learned this myself many a nights going out recording. So enjoy the rest of the video. There's a few more fast walkers in here. Maybe I think one more close up. And have a nice day and subscribe. Peace.
Okay, I've slowed down this small piece of footage to about 90% so you can see what our brave monolith makers, because that's really what they're really doing. They're making monoliths of light and dark matter. And as it flows down and bounces off the edge of the moon, you should be able to look up now and see the wave effect. As it's down here closer to the ground, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where, well, you just don't even notice it. Well, you don't notice it until you go bed at night and close your eyes and look at the back of your eyelids.